Hello everyone, Ben here, and we're back for round 3 of the LTC RaceRoom Porsche GT3 Cup at Daytona. And you can see here from the qualification results as we get underway that this was our first top 10 start of the season. So we came in 8th place in the qualification session, so we've got high hopes coming in to what is quite a tricky circuit in these Porsche Cup cars, as we found through practice. So we're now round the first corner, and we've just about held station here as cars are jostling for position. We're going to take to the inside because that's very often the safest place to be, but we get a little tap from behind and then we get another tap from behind and we're round. We're facing the wrong way after just 2 corners here at Daytona, and this is one of the worst circuits to be facing the wrong way after 2 corners, because as soon as you're detached from the pack, then you are no longer benefiting from the slipstream. You'll see there on the replay the first tap from the white Porsche, and then we go into the path of, in fairness, the black and grey Porsche. Not much he could do about that, and that has essentially ruined all of the good work that we did in qualifying. We're now sat at the back of the pack. We're going to cycle forward now onto lap 3. A couple of cars have gone off in the first couple of laps, which means we're now back up into 15th position, and you can just start to see there in the top left hand corner of the screen, going around the banked section, the next couple of cars up the road. We've got reasonable pace here. We didn't get any damage in that incident, so we can hopefully slowly but surely get onto the back of the pack and start to make up some of the positions that we've lost. You can see just up ahead there is an accident. A car's gone off in the chicane. He's going to be very slow as he rejoins now, and it's held up the other 2 cars as well. So we've got a bit of a chance here. There's 3 positions up for grabs. We could be back in the top 12 reasonably quickly here if we're able to capitalise on the mistake that's just taken place. We're just about now in the draft of the car ahead. Apologies, like the previous rounds in the championship, I don't have the full race overlay information for the championship, but I'm going to try and do my best to make up for that as we go. So we're now coming around into the first corner. That really tricky braking in this Cup car. The car really wants to squirm away from you. You have to try and get your braking done in a straight line as the road falls away from you, and you need to get the car shifting left, and it's a really tricky balance to get lots of mistakes in this race into that first corner across the field. But we're now just trying to tuck up behind this pack of 3 cars up ahead as we head into the infield section on lap 4. This was another tricky braking area where a number of cars found it difficult to just judge the line right, and this guy's gone wide as well, but he's managed to get round the outside of one of the other Porsches that was struggling on the apex, so he's actually made up a place. We're now going to swing to the inside to try and get past as well, but we're not going to be able to do that into the braking zone, so we're going to have to tuck in behind as we come around now again into the banked section. At least now we're in the slipstream, so we've got a chance of getting a bit of an overspeed, a bit of a tow from the car ahead, and perhaps making a move down into the bus stop chicane. So, as ever, it's an hour-long race, so we've got plenty of time to make up some of the spots lost. And as you can see up ahead, the pack isn't that far ahead. I think vying for a win is certainly out of the question. Probably vying for a podium is out of the question. But we could get a solid top 10 result here, as the car up ahead really struggles on exit from the bus stop, and that's going to give us the opportunity to scoot past him and up into 13th. Another car has dropped out of the race, which has allowed us another free spot on top of the one we've just got. So that now is us up into 13th, and all of a sudden then things are beginning to look a little bit rosier, and I'm getting a bit more confident in the pace that we've got in the car, but potentially a bit too confident as we come into the first corner here, and I brake just too late, get too deep in. I'm out onto the marbles, and the car behind manages to take a much tighter line and reclaims that spot. But I'm going to have to try and do something about that immediately, so I'm diving down into the inside of the hairpin, managed to get the spot back. There's a little bit of contact on exit, but nothing too significant, and that's allowed me to get back up into 13th. Really key, I feel, that I was able to make that move stick quite fast and not get stuck behind him in the infield section and lose more time. Coming into now the first corner again, just a couple of laps later, and another car has gone off under braking into that first corner. And now fast forward again onto lap 7, and we're now right up against the gearbox of the car ahead, and another accident coming out of the bus stop chicane, and a slow moving car up ahead too. So we're now all of a sudden back up into the top 10. So the first sort of set of laps in this race, despite the fact it's about a 34-35 lap race, was littered with mistakes as drivers were, I think, trying to kind of make up spots, but ultimately just misjudging it slightly in terms of the fact that this is very much a marathon, not a sprint. We don't mind, we're taking advantage of that as we come down the inside now of the Porsche to our right hand side into the first corner, get the braking done and the turn in right, and we've made up another spot. Really nice move that, under braking, pretty happy with that. And now we fast forward onto lap 15 where we've essentially moved up into 7th place, but our tyres are now beginning to go off, and so you can see we were actually losing a bit of time to the car behind. He's made a move to get back past us, but he's got it all wrong through the bus stop, so we're going to be able to shift back past him again. But we're into the pit window here. Other cars have started to pit in, which has promoted us up into 7th place. We're trying to kind of make this stint last as long as we can, so we've got fresher tyres towards the end of the race. But on the very next lap, on lap 16, we do come into the pits, which is quite it's a long pit lane in Daytona. You lose a lot of time because of just how fast the circuit is. What we've decided to do for this race was only change the tyres. We fueled to the end of the race to try and minimise the amount of time that we were stationary in the pit lane. We're going to come out just behind Rosamak, who we were vying for position with. He came in a lap earlier than us, and I was hoping that we might jump him with a bit of an overcut in the pit lane, but we haven't quite managed to do it. We come out about a second or so behind him on track. And that is basically the way it stayed for the rest of this race. We've cut forward now onto the very last lap of the race, lap 33. We're up into 6th place because we were able to make some positions through that pit round, but there was very little action on track for the rest of the race. Rosamak and I were trading quick times, and I was able to keep him within striking distance, but he didn't make any significant mistakes, and we weren't able to close up any further than this. So on track, we're going to come over the line here on the last lap in 6th place. That is going to become 5th place, as unfortunately Trevor Minton, who finished on the podium, a really great drive for him, didn't get the mandatory pit stop rules right and came in and didn't make a stop. So that promotes us up to 5th, Rosamak up to 4th. So another really good finish, solid points in the championship. It moves us up to 4th in the championship overall on 32 points. Osman Chan takes over the lead of the championship heading into round 4, which is at Zandvoort. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single race, and I'll see you next time.